It's time for Ascension River District Hospital's coverage of East China High School sports. CTV and Ascension River District Hospital bring you today's game along with support from North Star Bank, Ace Hardware, and La Mache, the Murphy Inn.
All right, welcome to another edition of high school basketball here on CTV. Tom Brenner, joined as always by the head varsity boys basketball coach, Matt Disserath. And coach, tonight, Warren Woods Tower on the broadcast. Last time you guys played, a little 52-47 loss on the road. Kind of recap how that game went for us.
You know, it was a real tight game most of the way. Kind of felt like we were in control for the first three quarters. They got hot from three, hit a buzzer beater at the end of the third, and then hit four more kind of early in the third to take control, and we were kind of battling from behind. Score was, we cut it close and we're fouling at the end, but they got two very, very good guards, both four-year varsity players, so that's kind of what leads their team. So that's going to be the guys we're definitely focusing on tonight. They got hot in the second half. We got to make sure it doesn't happen today.
Well, there's been 4 games since that game against Tower early January. What have you learned about your team in those 4 games since that loss to Warren Woods Tower?
You know, the things we're learning is just to keep getting better. We've also learned you can't let guys, you know, get going like they did against that game. You know, we're just a really deep club, and a lot of guys are stepping up and getting better every day, which makes practice awesome. Our league's a grind. We talked about it before. Anybody can beat anybody. We did have a little interesting thing go on last week in the league. Warren Fitz went from 5-0 to 0-5 on Friday without playing a game, so they went from first to last, so that jumped us and Tower both up to a tie for second. Puts us right in the race, 2 games behind South Lake with 5 games left.
4 games, that's all we got left until the MAC tournament. That means we're closing in just over a month until district time. We talked about what you've learned so far, but maybe what do we got to see from your team in the next 4 or 5 weeks?
You know, the one thing we want to keep getting better at is taking care of the basketball. We have improved on it a little bit since you know, the guys played last season, but still not where we need to be to win some championships, which I think we have the capability to doing, but obviously we're not quite there yet. But like I said earlier, the guys are getting better every day, competing with each other, and they work hard, and a great group to be around.
Should be a great one. We got a MAC Gold contest here. Warren Woods Tower in the gym of the St.Clair High School Saints. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tip-off coming up next after these messages.
I'm Dr. Lee Batcheldor, Chief Medical Officer for Ascension River District Hospital. I'm speaking to you on behalf of the hundreds of outstanding physicians, associates, and volunteers who provide personalized, compassionate, high-quality health care at our beautiful hospital on South River Road. We've been proudly serving this community for more than 50 years. Even more important, we plan to continue serving this community for a long time to come. Always remember that we are here when you need us, 24 hours a day, right here, right now, today, and in the future.
All right, welcome back. Joined now by Brad Robbins. Just chatted with Coach Disserath and had a nice chat as always. Brad, couple teams 7-4, 3-2 in the gold. Should be another good one here at St. Clair High.
Yeah, as Matt Disserath mentioned to you, the scheme changed a little bit in the MAC here for the Saints, so right in the thick of it in the playoff for second place and sole possession of it here tonight. When Tower and the Saints get together, it always seems like it's a competitive game, so everybody's warmed up, getting ready to go, and I know that the Saints are looking forward to putting on a show here on the home floor.
Decent little crowd for a Wednesday night, getting things rolling here. MAC Gold contests, always good ones. We thank you for joining us here on CTV. Going to send things down to Coach White for the introduction of our starting lineups and the playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise to face the flag? Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we honor America this evening with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the
the Saints, senior, number 2, Jared Grant. For Tower, senior, number 2, also captain, Chris Cliar. For the Saints, senior, number 3, Luke Ellis. For the Titans, junior, number 4, Chris Randall. For the Saints, senior, number 4, Eli Lord. For the Titans, senior, number 11, Marquise Smith. For the Saints, senior, number 11, Cam Bleasdale. For the Titans, sophomore, number 13, Corey Charleston. For the Saints, senior, number 33, Kai Pennywell. The Titans are coached by Jason Henshaw, assisted by Jack Delisle, Michael Patrick, Dan Newton. The Saints are coached by Matt Distorath, assisted by Zach Burke, Todd Culling, and Jake Stark.
All right, nice work. Good to have Coach White back here in the building, doing the starting lineup. So he's known for that alternating fashion.
A little bit of a more traditional take.
Yeah.
Man of habit many a years. We've had a rendition by Ken Pillarge, which is wonderful.
It is.
And then obviously we had the classic Denny White. I think we had a Darren Pietrzakowski the other night as well.
did.
So everybody pitching in, making sure we got something hot on the PA. Little production value here pre-jump.
Ready to get things going. Asking for the music to be turned down there as we spoke that into existence a little bit there. Last time these teams met, 52-47, Tower comes out on top. Saints going to win the tap here. Eli Lohr with the basketball. Decent little student section. They got a little costume action or something.
Yeah, wasn't quite able to identify what the theme was, but it's none of my business. As long as they're here, I'm good with it.
Lord, 3 no good. Rebounded by Kiles. Captain Chris Kiles is how he's in our program.
Saints going to come out a little man-to-man here. Have done a nice job thus far on their home floor, D'ing up.
Smith inside, guarded by Cramp. Smith goes up and good.
Smooth little set there. Nice feed and a good finish there. Good body control by Marquise Smith. He's a senior.
Cam Bleasdale out there with Cramp inside Pennywell. Pennywell working, goes up, knocked away. I think they're going to get travel, but that ball was tipped.
Yeah, that's a tough call. Didn't go the Saints' way. Right there, I think you're going to see a focal point of the Saints' offense. Move the basketball. They kind of go as Kai Pennywell has gone. I mean, he's kind of the straw that's stirring the drink. The guards have done a nice job of spreading it out, but if they want to win basketball games, things have to run through Kai.
0 is Antoine Marsh. Gets it around to Randolph. Back to Marsh. He's going to trigger a 3. It's off the mark. Good job by Cramp to box and get the rebound.
Good position there. It's a pretty good look at 3, though, for the Titans. Saints need to shore up and get somebody out on the shooter.
Ellis drives, gets it over to Cramp. Bleasdale swings it around. Little help side defense on Pennywell. Loses the handle. I think they might get a foul reach around.
There you can see the scouting report. Jason Henshaw and the Titans clearly have seen what I just said in that they sent another guy and another guard to come over and wrap around on the free arm of Pennywell. They know that that's going to be a huge key for them.
Foul was on 4. Randolph. Saints turn it over on the inbound pass. Back come the Titans. Marsh with the basketball. Gets it in the corner here. Smith with it. Back up to Marsh. Marsh going to take a screen. Both directions there. Keeps it alive. Oh, I almost had to look at a little mid-range jumper. Good cut and pass. Off the mark, though. Offensive rebound. Up. Foul on Pennywell.
Big call here early. Unfortunately, Saints not able to come down with the first miss there by Chris Randolph. He's able to go right back up, and he draws a big foul on Kai Pennywell.
Just about a minute and a half gone by here in the first quarter. 2-0 Titans on top. Chris Randolph at the line shooting 2. First one on its way, rolls around off the glass and good.
Something to take note of. I know we didn't broadcast the game, but I was here against East Point, and the Saints got off to a slow start in that game as well. They were down 6-0 really quick and made some kind of just hesitant mistakes offensively, and we've kind of already seen that. So try to avoid those slow starts, put yourself in a little hole. They were able to overcome that, and I expect them to do that here as well. But just something to take note of, kind of getting out of the gates a little bit slower.
Leesdale mid-ranger from the free throw line, no good. Marsh and the Titans coming back strong with it. Go up with it. Misses, but got his own miss. Corner, 3 on its way, no good. Rebound by Cramp. That was a tough shot in front of the student section. Back come the Saints. Pennywell with ball on the floor once again. Ball all over the place. The tie-up going to favor the Saints.
Interesting there. We see number 13 go to the rim. That's Corey Charleston. Goes to the rim, misses, and catches his own shot. I'm wondering how that was any different than what Kai Pennywell did at this end. That one was a travel, one was not. Ball went to the Saints, and then the jump ball arrow. Obviously, Eli Lohr came down with the tip, so that's going to go to the Titans.
Marsh with the basketball, swing it around. 2 is Kyle's. Little baseline drive, going to be a tough one amongst the trees. Count that one, and a foul there for 13, who's Corey Charleston.
Charleston, kind of a stout individual, just a sophomore, but a really strong take there. That was Bleasdale's going to get called for the foul there, but Cramp closed out too far, fell for a little jab step, and then got beat. So Bleasdale's there in help, and he did foul him. That one's got to come with a better closeout from Cramp.
So Charleston at the line. He's only got one shot at it here. Long with it. Rebound by Bleasdale. 6-0 Titans. 2.5 gone by in the first here on CTV. Eli Lohr with it. He's guarded by Smith. Bleasdale 3 from the top is good.
Had to have something like that. Good rhythm 3. Didn't have to think about it. Just catch and shoot. And Bleasdale makes good on it. Cuts the deficit right in half.
Marsh brings the basketball back across, hands it over to Kyles. Whistle and stepped on the out of bounds line there, and it's turnover to the Saints. Derek Disselrath into the game.
Disselrath last week did just kind of provide that spark off the bench as well. Comes in, does a lot of gritty things. I don't know that it's beautiful. It's not poetry in motion, but he gets rebounds, he gets to the rim, and he's unselfish when he gets there, feeds the big guys.
Lohr along with it. Offensive rebound ends up in the hands of Bleasdale. Ellis back over to Eli. Eli looking into Pennywell, is working hard. Tough battle down there. Ellis 3, good. Luke Ellis adds another 3. Couple of buckets, and all of a sudden this game's tied at 6.
Really nice shot there. Another, I'm not thinking I'm just playing basketball. Ellis knocks it down. That's kind of how you want your guys to be. Is nice and free. Don't overthink it. Just play.
Charleston gets it back over to Smith. Smith working on Eli Lohr. Got it around Charleston, gets in the paint, cut off, and the travel going to be called before that pass got away.
Last 2 possessions defensively have been pretty good for the Saints. Doing a lot better on their switches and communicating, cutting off driving lanes, and then that doesn't put guys in positions to make fouls. That gets stops, forces turnovers like that there.
Eli Lohr and the Saints looking for their first lead of the ball game, tied at 6. Lohr picked us up his dribble, was looking for Kai, not there. Bleasdale corner, Disselrath working on Kyles. And I think we're going to get an offensive foul on Kai Pennywell.
Yeah, the official's going to get this wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, it was a great sell out of the Tower player, but the Tower player pulled Kai Pennywell's hips all the way out of bounds with him and made it look like it was on Kai. You got to admire the craftiness there of Chris Randolph, because what that just did was put Kai Pennywell on the bench with 2 fouls early in this game.
That's exactly what Coach Disselrath is saying now, and here's a little drive and a travel going to be called there on Chris Randolph.
I mean, Coach Disselrath should be frustrated with that, but you almost have to tip your cap because it was really well done to get that call in a big spot. Saints going to have to overcome that.
Halfway mark of the first quarter. Ellis, Bleasdale needs a little help. Ellis picked up by a couple guys. Disselrath looking for Lohr, picks up his dribble, gets it over, throws it out of bounds, turnover.
Kind of an ugly start. Tale of 2 parts of this early here, halfway through the first quarter, and It's been a 6-0 run for each team and some ugly basketball for each team.
Marsh tried to split in the defenders, ends up on the deck, somehow keeps it alive. 3 on its way, rolls around, no good. Rebound by Hunter Richardson, who enters the game. And a little reach-in on Chris Randolph, who picks up his second.
Maybe all square down in the post as Randolph's going to have to head to the bench with a cheapie. That said, I really like that foul call just from a basketball fan perspective. I've said this multiple times, but it grinds my gears when guys get so antsy after you didn't have possession on a rebound.
Right.
It's not that kid's fault. He has the ball now. Don't grab him, right? And don't give him an excuse to do it if you're an official. I like that call. Unfortunately for Chris Randolph, he's going to sit down like Kai Pennywell is.
Logan Ellis checks into the game as well. So now we got both Ellis's, Hunter Richardson, Derek Disselrath, and Eli Lohr. They get it inside right to Hunter. He goes up with it. Foul from behind. Going to go on number 30. That's Matt Palmaville.
Nice job there by Hunter Richardson, kind of sealing off the much smaller Matt Palmaville. When I say smaller, I don't mean height-wise, but just looking at him, there's going to be a definite leverage issue for Palmaville if he wants to keep Hunter Richardson out of the paint.
Richardson at the line, good looking shot there. It's up and good.
Got a textbook stroke for a big guy. He's got great touch. That ball rotates like Fred Shaw would have taught you. Little spin to win, hand in the cookie jar for Hunter Richardson. It's really nice.
Saints with their first lead of the game with that make. Looking to add on to it. It's up and good. Man, it is a nice looking shot.
I'm telling you, it's how I teach my kid to shoot. That's a really nice job.
Marsh going to bring it back. All of a sudden, the Titans got themselves in a little bit of a deficit here. Down by 2. Drive, little jump stop, gets in the paint. Marsh with it, floater, up good.
Tough little shot. 2 good drives there, finished off by Marsh. Good body control, good jump stop. They land at the same time. That's why it's not a travel, and a good little floater finish.
Disselrath with it, driving on Kyle's, cut off. Ellis thought about skipping it around. They do end up in the hands of Eli Lohr. He drives, tough shot, good.
Be nice to see Eli Lohr have a big night. Gets it going there. He's had a couple, decent nights scoring-wise, but just not a fully clean game. He's totally capable of having them. It'd be nice to see him go off a little bit here this evening.
Marsh kicked it over to Kyles. His 3 is up, no good. Rebounded in there by 30. That's Palmaville. A little held ball. This one favors the Saints.
Something we've seen Coach Disselrath go to a few times, and I'm seeing maybe an opportunity for it here. The Titans being pretty aggressive. Don't be surprised if the Saints go to that back door. One-sided, they swing around, look like it's a shooter, leave a guy on an island, go back door. I'm sure you'll see that pretty quick, but the Titans continue to play aggressive.
SCN also checks into the game here for the Saints. He picks up his dribble. Good cut by Lohr. Good find by Braylon. 3 up, no good. Richardson in there jumped a little bit early, took a funky bounce. Ball still on the deck. Titans after a nice job there by 3. Xavion Allen. Titans trying to get back in it.
Nice job there by Braylon Essien, kind of sprinting out in front of that break and cutting it off, getting the defense reset.
3 up, rattles around, no good. Good rebound by Richardson. $1:45 to go here in the first on CTV. Eli brings it across the timeline. Takes a Disselrath screen, gets to the free throw line, pulls up short. Rebound by Smith. They bring it back around. Marsh and the Titans down 10-8. Cut by Palmaville, turn it over. Disselrath with it, immediately gets it to Eli. They bring it across. Corner is Logan Ellis. Inside to Hunter Richardson. Smith tried cheating it. Ball still on the deck. Titans with it. I think a timeout called there on the bench. Nice timeout there by head coach Jason Henshaw.
Getting a timeout there, I think this becomes a pretty important possession. It's kind of been ugly, as we said, so you got a 2-point deficit if you're Jason Henshaw, and he didn't want that to get re-tied up. He wants to keep the arrow in his favor, decided using the timeout might be worth it there. I think right there, it's not a bad idea getting the ball into Hunter Richardson, but it's kind of the way that Logan Ellis tried to do it. It was like a bullet with 2 guards surrounding him. Maybe swing the ball, try to do it on the other side. I think you do, like we said earlier, you got an advantage with Palmaville on Hunter Richardson. I don't have a problem getting him a touch, but it's got to be the right one. Put your teammate in a position to be successful.
I'm going with costume theme.
It's got to be, right? We have sombreros, but we have officials' uniforms. We have a unicorn. We have a mechanic, I believe. We have a...
There's a couple sombreros.
Like a Flintstone?
I don't know. At first I thought it was hat day. And I thought it was pajama day, and I realized some of them are just wearing what they wear to school. Just looks like possible pajama day, but we're going costume day over there in the student section.
Nonetheless, we applaud the effort. Like to see the students out at the games.
45 seconds to go. Ball inside, turned over. Smith with it, gets it to Kyles.
Tough living in there for Hunter Richardson. A lot of bodies on him.
Been a lot of bodies swarming all over the place. About 30 seconds to go here. Kyle's going to take a Palmerville screen. Gets it in the corner. 3 on its way is up. No good. Palmerville after it. Didn't quite get right after it. Now the ball's on the deck thanks to the hustle of Logan Ellis. Held ball going to stay with the Titans.
A little bit of a frenetic pace here early. I can't say it's the cleanest basketball we've seen. A lot of bodies on the floor. Part of that is just, I think, how it's going to be officiated. I think you saw a lot of help down and maybe a couple fouls in the post both ways. If guys are going to be allowed to grab a little bit, you're going to get some uglier basketball.
20 seconds on the clock here in the first. Kyles gets it in the corner. Thought about the 3. Fakes, gets in the paint. Loses the handle. Eli with it with 15 to go. Pulls it back. Got to push it across the timeline and does. Essien fakes, pulls up, jumper, no good. Rebound by the Titans. They've got 5 seconds if they hurry. Kyles with 4, 3, crosses it over, got 2, 3 on its way, looks short, it is. And that's how we end the first quarter. St. Clair with a 10-8 lead. Huge reason for that was back-to-back threes from Cam Bleasdale and Luke Ellis.
Yeah, they got it going. They did the 60% of the scoring. It was an ugly first quarter, but nonetheless, you come out of it with a win in the quarter, and you kind of balance that with your expectations remaining in the game. If you want to find something positive, you give up 8 every quarter in a varsity boys basketball game. You're playing good defense.
Scoring's all over the place. We'll get after it here in the second quarter after these messages on CTV.
North Star Bank, your local community bank serving St. Clair, Sanilac, Huron, and Washtenaw counties. When you need a local community bank for home loans, checking, savings, and other banking needs, North Star Bank is the community bank that you want to deal with. The bank that will take care of all your personal and business needs. North Star Bank has a new mobile application that you can download to make banking even easier. North Star Bank, guiding the way. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to CTV. Tom Brenner, joined by Brad Robbins, as always. Austin Barney on the camera. Kind of an interesting first quarter. St. Clair up 10-8. Check out the scoring. Mentioned those Ellis and Bleasdale threes. That's where they stand with 3. Eli with 2. Hunter Richardson with 2. Tower all over the place. Marsh, Randolph, Smith, and Charleston all with 2. That equals their 8. And we're off and running. Both teams with 3 team fouls. Good backdoor
there
cut
it is.
There by Jared Cramp.
Mentioned it earlier, and then right out of the gate, Coach Disserath goes with the backdoor play, and it works. Mentioned that overplay by Tower, and there you see it.
Still early with the biggest lead of the game for the Saints. It's 12-8. Swing it around. Palmerville guarded by Richardson. Gets it over to Kyles. Good cut by Palmerville. Goes up. Good find. Good dish. Good bucket.
Interesting there. The Titans kind of answered with a very similar setup. So we're 1-to-1 on overplays and backdoor finishes. Something that if you're just joining us in the second quarter here, of note is that both bigs, starting bigs for the Titans and the Saints are on the bench with 2 fouls. Kai Pennywell got 2 early, and Chris Randolph has 2 for the Titans.
Luke Ellis with his second 3 of the game. Make it 15-10 St. Clair. Tough drive on the baseline. Throws it up. Good grab by Palmerville. Stolen by Bleasdale. Cam Bleasdale all alone. Up and good.
Nice anticipation. Good finish there by Bleasdale.
17-10. Tower needs to get a bucket here.
Student section's live and standing. Fans kind of have a little bit of energy in them right now. Good little run for the Saints.
Smith got it across there. 13 is Charleston. Palmerville trying to see if he has it going. No good. Ball goes out of bounds. Then we got a foul call here.
They get Logan Ellis here, not in position and still trying to make a play. Not sure how much contact there was, but it did look bad.
First on Logan, 4th on the Saints. Charleston going to inbound under their own basket. Palmerville goes out of the game, and Randolph back in with 2.
We'll say Logan Ellis doesn't get cheated when he plays in the basketball game, right? He knows he's got 5 fouls, and darn it, he's going to use them. When he comes in, he makes an impact in some way.
Student section a little too close to the court there for the officials' liking. Backs him up, and we're on our way. Strange turnover there right into the hands of Jared Cramp. Bounces it to Bleasdale. Takes his time, gets it up top to Eli. Swing it around in the corner is Cramp. Back up top, Ellis. Bleasdale, 3, up, no good. Rebounded by Smith and the Titans. Kyles brings it across, gets it over to Marsh, guarded by Luke Ellis, going to take a Randolph screen. Marsh into the paint, met by a lot of bodies. Smith looking for a little action, not there. Charleston with it, loses the handle. 2 minutes gone by, 7-point St. Clair lead. Kyles, three, up, good.
Nice little lefty stroke there, pretty deep and contested for Kyles. Good shot and good answer. That was a decent defensive possession for the Saints. They've kind of strung together quite a few in a row. Just a nice play. Sometimes you got to tip your cap there. Chris Kyle does a nice job.
Turnover, back comes Kyles. They got a 3-on-1 and to go up with it. Blocked by Lorbo. They're going to get a foul called. I don't think many people in the gym like that.
A little bit of adversity right now. I think there's a couple things that you can dwell on if you're a Saints fan, coach, or player. I don't know that it serves you well. I think that'll be what Coach Disserat just kindly talks to the officials about here. But if you're a player, you just keep playing.
Kyle's free throw is up and good. I got to be honest, I thought he was going to pass.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the top part of that block was clean. You could make an argument for the arm on the bottom. However, the reach around tap on Ellis here at this end was not clean. That started that break, so you probably just let both of them go. That's not how it went, and Kyle's was at the line, and Saints just going to have to rebound, go have a good possession at the other end. You get
a little lane violation, looks like, and that is the case.
Yeah, he was
like
in early.
24, Devin Hartwig, who just checked in.
I did not know. With Hartwig walking in early, I definitely see it. I applaud the call. I just thought you had to finish the shot anyways and then take it off. But apparently it's a dead ball, and we're moving on. Not that it changes the result. I just learned something.
17-14, St. Clair on top. Richardson with it inside, goes up, no good. Rebounded there by Hartwig. Marsh with it. About 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter on CTV. Marsh crosses over nicely into the paint, dishes it over, corner three, up and good. Xavion Allen adds a three. Second three ball of the quarter here for the Titans, and we're tied at 17.
I think right now you're starting to feel the effects of Kai Pennywell having been on the bench for an extended period of time. Hunter Richardson just kind of running on fumes here, and then tried to finish on the last possession. Just looked a little fatigued going up.
Randolph with a little cut coming back. Oh, he counted it, but the ball did not go in. The official thought it went through. He got a little excited.
That ball went reverse in the net and then back down. I could see how from underneath it may have looked like it.
Foul on Cam Bleasdale is second, so Randolph is actually at the line shooting too. Yeah, I feel like most officials they kind of get excited, right? They want to count that thing.
Well, there's always used to say there's kind of a human element to being an official too, and we can't lose sight of that. Those are exciting plays for them, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one that everybody loves is a nice charge call, right? So people, they want to call a charge, go take one. Every official wants to call that because it's a reversal, right? That big arm that comes out there with the hand behind the head, you get some style points on those.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the two-step charge.
Oh yeah, you come out in the middle and let everybody know, right?
And
you're killing that guy's dreams who just made that layup, right? No basket, wave it off, and change the game.
18-17. Randolph knocked down one of them. Ellis with it, cramp in the corner. So the Titans get the lead back, and they get a turnover here. Marsh with it, needs a little help, gets it over to Hartwig, excuse me.
Saints guards right now doing a little too much trying to force it inside. I think it's 3 or 4 times they've tried to make an entry pass, and it's been picked off by helping guards. All that says is that somebody's open on a skip pass if they're dedicating all that help to the paint. We got to start to skip the ball and get some open threes. I think Cramp being out there, and then obviously Ellis has proven that he's ready to shoot today. So get Lore, Ellis, and Cramp some threes, try to loosen up the interior.
Kyles was trying to get it inside there to Hartwig. Ball goes off his hands, out of bounds with 3:58 to go. Titans on top, 18-17. Schalk into the game for the Saints. Disserath as well. So we got Ellis, Disserath, Schalk, Lore, and Cramp out there. Luke with it. Lost the handle, out of bounds. I think Marsh had his hands on it, so it'll go back to the Saints.
I don't have a clear call yet, but that should be the Saints ball. Warren Woods Tower lost the handle. That's what it's going to be, but there wasn't a call. I think Jason Henshaw was trying to politic for a push there. He might have had a case, but he didn't get the call.
Moore brings it across, gets it over to Cramp, takes one dribble, gets it in the corner to Schulk. Zips it over to Ellis, who spins, goes behind his back and back into the corner to Schulk. Tries to force it into Disselrath, wasn't there. Titans bring it up ahead. Bucket up off the glass and good there for Xavion Allen. Give him 5 in the quarter and a 20-17 Titans lead.
Saints need to rework a plan here, and I think Coach Disselrath knows it. Maybe the intention throughout the entire couple of days prep, especially coming off of a loss against these guys last time, maybe the Saints saw an opportunity to pound the ball inside. However, if that is the plan, it's got to be done well, and you can't just force it in for the sake of doing so. And I think 4 or 5 possessions now, St. Clair's just tried to do things they're not open. So you need to reverse the ball, make that defense work a little bit longer. And like I said in the previous possession, it's going to be okay to get Cramp going for 3 or Eli some shots for 3. That'll give Hunter Richardson or Kai Pennywell, who just checks back into the game, some room to work down there.
12-7 second quarter in favor of the Titans at this point. 20-17, 3:27 on the clock. Kyle, Smith, Marsh, Randolph, and Allen on the floor for the Titans.
Both bigs in the game with their 2 fouls.
Ball out of bounds. Going to give the basketball to the Titans. Back into the game, Charleston wearing 13 for Warren Woods Tower. 16 fouls on the Saints, 3 against the Titans. Marsh gets it over to Randolph. Thought about getting the basketball on a cut. Charleston back up top. Allen with it now. Eli on him. Smith gets it over to Marsh. Titans taking their time. Marsh, couple dribbles, gets it in the corner. Randolph, 3, long, off the glass, no good. Disselrath and Ellis were after it. Ends up in the hands of Luke Ellis.
Just a 1-possession basketball game. Plenty of time here in the half. Can still take a lead into the half to play poised basketball. Let's see if there was a conversation that will elicit some results here for the Saints offensively.
Ellis went in there, draws a foul. I think we're going to get Smith.
Going to be on the floor because he passed it off. Probably a little bit of misfortune there. That was going to be a bucket for Pennywell. Nonetheless, I like the dribble drive into the paint as opposed to a forced entry.
Inbound play for the Saints. Ellis, long 3, check, no good. Lower offensive rebound is big. Couple dribbles, pulls up in the lane, good.
That was a smooth take. Nice athletic, square the shoulders midair and soft touch from about 5 feet. That's tough to do. Good shot there by Eli Lohr. Uses his size to his advantage at 6'4".
Saints cut the lead down to 1. Marsh trying to get in the paint, gets it over to the corner. 3 for Smith, no good. It went off the side of the backboard. Oh, good play there by Marsh.
Little misfortune there. Ellis was in position, but that ball just outpaced him to the perimeter. It's going to be an offensive foul and a good call. Corey Charleston used his entire left side of his body to clear paint to make a pass. Good defensive position there by the Saints. That's a good call.
We had a pretty good look at that. I'm pretty sure our camera did as well, so the viewers at home got a nice look at that. Nice call by the official.
You just don't see it called very much, so, I mean, you got to applaud anybody who notices that.
Eli guarded closely by Kyles is doing a nice job defensively.
Good no force there by Eli.
Eli with the basketball again, corner. Derek Disselrath spins, met by 2 defenders, gets it up top. Tough catch, but well done by Luke Ellis. $1:45 to go here in a second. Ellis on the wing. Pennywell working hard in there. Pull up here from Luke goes no good. Randolph was after it. He knew it went off of his hands, so he had to save it. Kai with it. Gets it up top. Ellis. Another try out of 3. This one also no good. In the hands of Smith.
Decent possession. Lots of good looks there for the Saints. Ellis checking whether or not he's got a hot hand.
Charleston with it, swings it around. Marsh has it, drives into the paint, floats, very tough shot, no good. 3 Saints after it, and somehow into the hands of Marsh. Be interesting to see who they call this foul on.
Gonna get that on Logan Ellis. I think you're gonna get a 1-and-1 here. It's just a tough call. You got Antoine Marsh with 3 Saints, goes through, rips the ball away. Apparently that was clean. I didn't really see a foul, but I'm also not sure that I saw one on Logan Ellis. It kind of seemed like a play-on situation. Nonetheless, Marsh shooting 1-and-1.
First one's no good, so back come the Saints. I think Coach Disrath had to kind of get on Logan there, who was giving the official an earful. Nice job there to be the peacekeeper. Marsh with a steal, comes up with it, stopped himself. He may have traveled before that, but no call. I think they're going to get a foul called here. Let's see if they give him a shooting opportunity. I think they're going to get Braylon Essien with the foul.
Foul number 23.
That is the case.
His first team date.
Antoine Marsh to the line. He's done a pretty nice job for them so far tonight. He is shooting 2. First one up and no good. And into the game for Warren Woods Tower, going to be number 10, Willie Williams.
First time we've seen Williams check into the game, I think.
Yep, he's going to check in for Corey Charleston, one of their starters. Randolph also goes out of the game.
55 seconds, you got to take him off. He's got 2, and you don't want him to get a third. That's why Kai Pennywell's on the bench. It's possible you see Kai come in if there's a dead ball and you play offense. But Hunter just needed a breather so he could reset. Now he's back on the floor. He'll probably stay out for the next 45 of this half.
Ellis drove the baseline. I think they're going to get a little check foul here.
It's the 6th on the Titans, so the next one will be the bonus.
Williams came right into the game and got his money's worth. Picks up his first foul. 21-19, Warren Woods Tower on top. Lower inbounding under their own bucket. It's it up top. Ellis swings it to Disserath. He's wide open from 3. Off glass, no good. Went after the offensive rebound, not there. Did a good job of pulling back. Almost committed the typical high school basketball foul.
The frustration foul at 75 feet away from the other rim is never good, especially when the team is in the bonus.
They're going to get Luke Ellis with a foul here.
St.Clair foul number 3. Ellis, his first team night.
Ninth team foul. Last shot at 1-1 here for Tower before they head to the double bonus. Antoine Marsh back there. He's got 3. Seems to be impacting the basketball game outside the scoring, though. First one is up and good. Good, another one.
He's drawn a lot of fouls here in the last minute or so. I can say that. That's the first time he's made good on the front end of a 1-and-1.
Second one on its way is up and also good. He's got 3 in the quarter, all on free throws, 5 total. 23-19, Titans on top. 22 seconds, Eli going to creep it across the timeline. Looking inside at Richardson, had a pretty nice seal there. Didn't quite get it in there. Saints is going to take their time and look for something real nice. Ellis going to get it in the paint. Try to get it in the corner to Essien, not there. Into the hands of Lohr, off glass, good. Nice 3 on the clock. 2. Williams going to go up with it, off glass, off the top of the backboard, and no good. We end the first half. Tower 23, St. Clair 21. Interesting second quarter there. Tower a little bit in control of that one.
Yeah, second quarter went to Tower, and I think if you're Matt Disserath and the Saints, you just need to go regroup, look at some adjustments that you need to make. I think you got to be guarded against trying to dwell too much on calls that you didn't get or guys who got fouls when you didn't think they were even, just because that's a distraction in a 2-point basketball game. So that might be a conversation the coaches have like right now, but I think you don't let your players kind of let that creep into their thought process because that's not going to help you in the second half. So maybe come out, play hard, clean up some of the turnovers, and get Kai Pennywell on the floor for a little bit longer, run through him, and don't force it. You're right in the basketball game. It was close when they played last time, so anything other than that expectation. I think the Saints went there and lost by 5, down by 2 with an ugly second quarter. Nothing to fret about. Just got to make a couple adjustments, make some shots.
Very balanced scoring for Tower at this point. I'm looking in my scorebook here. Of course, it's very amateur scorebook. You never know. We're keeping it on the fly here ourselves.
Nobody sit at home and vet this. We just make it up as we go.
I got 7 Titans in the scorebook. Marsh leading the way with 5. 3 of those just happened seemingly at the end of the second quarter there. Kyles with 4. Randolph with 3. Smith, Charleston, and Palmerville all with 2. And Xavion Allen off the bench, tied for a team high with 5. As for the Saints, Luke Ellis with 6. Eli Lohr with 6. Ellis is all on 3s. Eli on 3 field goals. Cam Bleasdale with 5, Cramp with 2, and Hunter Richardson with 2. So not too bad. 5 guys in the book for Matt Disserath and the Saints. It's 23-21. We're back for an outstanding second half next on CTV.
La Mache is open in the south end of St. Clair's Riverview Plaza. La Mache, an artisan's experience, soon filled with over 40 unique artisans under one roof. Individual spaces with their own vibe handmaids, pottery, French candies and jellies, Halloween, Christmas, candles, pottery. Walk through the halls of La Mache and see the individual booths that everyone's talking about. La Mache, an artisan's experience in the south end of the Riverview Plaza. Ace Hardware in St. Clair is your local Ace Hardware store, and it's located on the west side of the Riverview Plaza in St. Clair. Ace Hardware in St. Clair now features Carhartt clothing, coats, pants, everything Carhartt. And look now, they also have the Big Green Egg, Weber grills, and of course, all the quality Ace products you've grown to know and trust. Paint, tools, keys, everything hardware. It's all at Ace Hardware on the west side of the Riverview Plaza in St. Clair.
Welcome back to high school basketball on CTV. Tom Brenner, Brad Robbins, Austin Barney with you here. Got ourselves a pretty good one going here. 23-21, Tower gets the first half advantage. Balanced scoring, as we mentioned. Decent little run at the end of the second quarter there for Tower. Other than that, you kind of mentioned Coach Disselrath probably as happy as you can be down to.
Yeah, I mean, when you said good first half, it was ugly. I think ugly on both sides, and it went in spurts. That obviously the 13-4 run by Tower to finish off the first half was big in that second quarter. Interesting start here as the official just puts the ball in play with no clock and no other people ready. Nonetheless, we're off and running now, and you're looking for the Saints to just clean up some things. Lots of turnovers in the first half. Can't do that and expect to win.
Tower with the basketball to start things off with that 2-point lead. Smith gets it around to Marsh, takes a Randolph screen, didn't quite get there to set it. Got ahead of myself. Just ready for things to get going here. Kyle's with it up top. Captain Kyle says they got him in our program. We mentioned that earlier. Allen, seeing if he's still on fire from the first half. Excuse me, that wasn't Allen. That was Charleston. Eli Lohr with it. Gets it over to Ellis. Swings it around. Bleasdale. The Saints with their original starters on the floor to start the second half. Lohr, Ellis thought about that top three. Stolen away by Kyle's. Ball on the deck. He gathers it.
Really nice hands there by Kyle's to get his hand in the passing lane.
Smith offensive rebound. I think they're going to get Bleasdale here. They're going to call it 2 shots. Now they're going to get Cramp with it.
Second effort there by Marquise Smith. I think it's just a missed opportunity here on the offensive end. The pass that got deflected and taken away. Ellis had the right look. I think he had Eli Lohr in the corner for an open 3. It's a matter of getting the ball out there without turning it over and getting the shot. And now we're here at the other end. Opportunity to extend the lead for the Titans, and they do.
Marquise Smith knocks it down, gets the scoring started for us here in the second half, makes it 24-21. Looking to balloon that lead up to 4. That one was a little bit funky looking, goes off the front rim, off the glass, and no good. Stays at 3. Eli Lohr brings it across the timeline, guarded by Kyles. Ellis swings it around Bleasdale. Lohr with it on the wing, guarded by Kyles, who had that steal in the last possession. Lohr pulls up just inside the free throw line, no good. Randolph rebound to Kyles.
Like the pick and roll action using Lohr. He's had a pretty hot hand. He's been steady. Get him and Pennywell out on the side, give him some options.
Kyles got it to Randolph on the cut, a little out of control. Gets his own miss though, goes up, no good. Gets his miss again. Pennywell reached in, probably fortunate not to get called for a foul. Another offensive rebound up and good for Charleston.
Pennywell did a good job staying straight up. Unfortunately, the way he had to position his body didn't allow him to get in great rebounding position, and Titans get 3 or 4 looks at it. You give anybody 3 or 4 looks, one of them is going to go down.
Nice touch pass from Pennywell after the entry. Bleasdale 3 just rattles out. Saints with another shot at it. Cramp in the corner. Bleasdale thought about the 3, back to Cramp. Cramp with just 2 points. Pennywell has it inside, goes up at Randolph, goes off the glass, no good. Taken away by the Titans.
Better ball movement, patient with an entry that wasn't overcrowded, gives Pennywell a look. Doesn't convert, but I like the possession.
Kai Pennywell got in early foul trouble, and I've got him as scoreless so far in this game.
Scoreless and probably a little bit out of rhythm. I don't think we've seen him have that much difficulty on the floor, and it was Charleston that did a really good, excuse me, it wasn't Charleston, it was Randolph, did a crafty move, kind of masquerading as getting fouled and put Pennywell on the bench. So it also takes him out of rhythm here. He's kind of got to get his legs back underneath him, and that was a good way of doing that. Didn't make the shot, but I wouldn't make it a thing that wouldn't allow you to go back to him over and over.
Marsh with a spin on Ellis, goes up with it and travels, trying to get himself to the other side of the rim. Titan turnover to the Saints.
And he just ran out of real estate, tried to drag that foot, and the official was all over it.
2.5 minutes gone by. Not much scoring so far. 3-0 quarter for the Titans. Lord got it in the corner. Good job by Bleasdale to gather it. Making sure Smith wasn't cheating that pass. Gets it to Ellis. Bleasdale drives. Tries to dish it to Pennywell. Turns it over. Marsh with it.
Saints a little bit frustrated right now. Just nothing on time and on target. I think for example, the kick to the corner that time took them all the way almost out of bounds, and then the delivery on the bounce pass in the paint kind of wiggles away. And Saints come up with no shot on that possession.
Randolph 3, no good. Rebounded by Ellis. Gets it up ahead, turns it over to Marsh. Marsh into the lane, goes up and floats it up and good.
Not a good turnover there, a long way away from the bucket. It's a few possessions in a row that Saints just turned it over without getting a look at the rim.
Bleasdale over to Ellis. Heading towards 4.5 to go here in the third. Nice little bucket there from Eli Lohr off glass. Saints in the scorebook here in the third quarter.
I don't know if you're seeing the same thing that I am, but I think right now the emphasis has to be to allow Eli Lohr to be the person going to the cup. That seems to be the recipe for success. Saints not really delivering the ball well on the perimeter, and he seems to be able to get to the rack.
Marsh, nifty move to get in the paint, no good. Eli with the basketball now, and the Saints come back down 5, 28-23. We're at the halfway point of the third. Bleasdale floater up and good. Tough shot is nicely done by Cam Bleasdale.
Not easy to do. Good touch off the glass. Good feed there up ahead by Eli Lohr. A little touch to go over the hands of Warren Woods Tower. And for the first time this evening, I think we see a momentum timeout here by the Titans. Jason Henshaw wants to talk some things over.
You know, I got to tell you, here on CTV, we haven't had a lot of momentum timeouts.
No, I mean, like, this was minor at best. You know, it's not like a ruckus gym that we needed to calm down. But the Saints have strung a couple of things together here. And if I'm Jason Henshaw, I might be worried a little bit about Eli Lohr, and to try to stop the Saints' run.
So a little 5-4 third quarter advantage goes to the Titans. Once again, they're spreading it out. Marsh with 2, Charleston with 2 in the frame, and Smith with a free throw. Eli Lohr and Cam Bleasdale with a field goal apiece to get the Saints their 4th. 3:52 is what's on the clock here in the third. Not a lot of fouls called so far in this game. Just one team foul in the second half. It's on the Saints.
Tom, we mentioned runs a couple times. I feel like that might be a sequitur for me to just mention the Chili Heart 5K.
Nicely done.
That's upcoming on February 12th. The East China Education Foundation will be hosting a fundraiser that you can go on to run, sign up with us to help support students and staff here in the East China School District. You can participate virtually or in person. There will be chili and medals and shirts for the people who show up. You can come get your medals and shirts. So again, it's Chili Heart 5K. That'll be on February 12th. That's available to you on Run Sign Up that supports our students and our staff.
Hey, if I can get out there and do it last year on a very cold, snowy day, then so can you.
And I'm telling you, there's a 2-mile walk version of that is the only thing that I am eligible for, and I did sign up. So I suppose I'll have to get out there and put my money where my mouth is.
Chili Heart 5K, a little staple in the community, one of the rare winter races.
That's right.
Especially around these parts. Kyle's 3 is short. Saints all over it that time. Lohr comes away with it. They're down 3. It sure has been chilly lately, hasn't it?
Absolutely. 3 degrees today at one point.
Pennywell offensive rebound. Can he get it going? Can't get it to go, and this time Randolph comes away with it.
A little bit of chilly shooting here from the Saints in the perimeter.
You're on fire right now. Bucket up and good there for Xavion Allen. I'll tell you what, when he comes in the game, he makes an instant scoring impact. He's got 7 off the bench.
Get that spark off the bench. A guy you know isn't going to play with any fear. Comes in, tries to get the most, gets his money's worth.
Disselrath into the game, got it over to Luke Ellis. He's spinning on Marsh, who's all up in his face. Disselrath inside to Pennywell. He's met instantly by 2 bodies and kind of a 2.5 man look there.
Saints struggled with that in the first half, recognizing how many people are helping. There was 3 guys there. Got to find the open one on the perimeter or have somebody flash to the top.
Captain Kyle's in the corner. Palmaville 3. That one's going to go long into the hands of Ellis. Saints down 5, 30-25. 2:15 to go here in the third.
I didn't know Palmaville had that shot in the bag. I put my arms up.
Lohr gets in the lane and see what the call is here. I think they're going to get a foul on the floor before we got that shot away.
Saints just kind of up against it this evening, like that right there. I mean, it's nice to get the foul call. I'm not sure in what world that's not a shooting foul. Nonetheless, it wasn't called one. So.
Second foul on Palmaville. Randolph and Captain Kyle's going to head to the bench. Lower Bleasdale, Hunter Richardson in the game, Derek Disserath out there, and Logan Ellis as well. Eli trying to get the basketball in. Does. Nice inbounds play from the Saints, but the three is up and no good for Ellis. Titans push it up ahead.
Plays designed for that shot. A little bit of tentativeness in Logan's hand when he let it go. That's what happens. It'll come up short if you're thinking about it.
A little hesitation there defensively. Matt Disserath, the head coach, calling for a travel there. 7-point Warren Woods Tower lead. Eli Lohr had it, gets over. Disserath in the corner. Knocked away by Palmaville into the hands. Well, that time they didn't see the basketball coming. Was Allen, and still a turnover. Allen with the basketball. Gets it across. Gathered there by Charleston. Smith, corner. Allen, he's been hot all night. This time he's short. Rebounded by Eli Lohr. And Logan Ellis going to commit a foul here.
Ellis going to come off the floor in favor of Essien.
Third foul there on Logan Ellis. Kyles takes a Palmaville screen. Smith with it up top, guarded by Eli Lohr. Allen with the basketball now. Palmaville, another three attempt. This one also no good, and Eli Lohr with it. I think the Saints will live with those Palmaville threes from Palmaville. Bleasdale with it. Under a minute to go here in the third. Big stretch here for the Saints. Disserath shot, no good. Got one after it. What a rebound there by Derek Disserath. Stole it away from Richardson. And a foul going to be called here on Tower. I think they're going to get Smith.
Kind of like that. I mean, the ball movement was good. I don't know that it's necessarily Disserath that you want shooting the three, but Disserath comes in and he kind of just raises the level, the speed at which the Saints are playing. He goes after his own shots, sacrifices the body, and right now, Saints are missing a little bit of that in their game today.
Tower with another takeaway there. And this time Luke Ellis is going to pick up the foul. I'll tell you what, I think a foul was committed there. If I had a replay here, it almost felt like he was turning the basketball over. And as he went to go gather it, there was a little contact. But it was either like a no call.
Seemed like a loose ball by the time the foul was called. Nonetheless, Saints just not getting that break today.
Palmaville had the basketball, and they're going to call a tie-up here in favor of the Saints.
And I don't know that call was wrong. It's just kind of an obscure play.
Yeah.
So you just got to live with those. But right now, it just seems like every 50-50 opportunity, Saints aren't winning them. And that'll do that to you. That's about what a 7-point lead looks like. Lack of 50-50s and some turnovers.
Eli inside of Richardson didn't finish, but got his own miss and finishes that time. That's a big-time bucket.
Good second jump there. A little athleticism out of Hunter Richardson. That's tough to do twice. Does it right over top of Palmaville. I like that matchup. I just think the Saints need to find a way to get it in there more often without turning it over.
Kyles was short with it. Bodies all over the place. Smith, Disserath, and Eli Lohr is on the deck. This tie-up going to favor Tower. They'll keep the basketball with 8 seconds left in the third quarter. Marsh going to check in. He'll go ahead and get Xavion Allen.
8 seconds and a big baseline out of bounds play. You're at a 5-point game, totally manageable. You don't want to give up an easy bucket here at the buzzer.
Kyle's got a good look at it. This one also no good. Smith offensive rebound, 2-1. Let's see what the call is. A travel. I was going to say if it's a foul call, that would have been interesting. And time going to expire, I think, before the travel call happens. 32-27, Tower on top.
Yeah, we didn't see any big changes in the way that this game is going to be played, officiated, etc. It's ugly, and the Saints are going to have to find a way to win ugly. I don't think we expect any changes in the fourth. It's going to be just a gritty performance. Within reach for both teams. Saints just got to play a little cleaner.
There's 6 points in the third quarter there for St.Clair in my book here. Eli, Cam, and Hunter. The Saints are down 5. We got the fourth quarter coming up next here on CTV.
I'm Dr. Lee Batcheldor, Chief Medical Officer for Ascension River District Hospital. I'm speaking to you on behalf of the hundreds of outstanding physicians, associates, and volunteers who provide personalized, compassionate, high-quality health care at our beautiful hospital on South River Road. We've been proudly serving this community for more than 50 years. Even more important, we plan to continue serving this community for a long time to come. Always remember that we are here when you need us, 24 hours a day, right here, right now, today, and in the future.
Well, they've got drink specials every day. Rooms upstairs if you want to stay. If you love music, hear it play at the good old Murphy Inn. At the good old Murphy Inn.
Looking for a great spot to enjoy lunch or dinner with fantastic daily food and happy hour specials? Look no further than the Murphy Inn in St. Clair. This is Paul, owner of the Murphy Inn. Our charming Irish pub features different food and drink specials every day of the week, plus live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday. The Inn even offers 7 unique hotel rooms complete with modern amenities, perfect for overnight stays or a weekend getaway.
There ain't no doubt we're going out to the good old Murphy Inn. To the good old Murphy Inn.
Podcast skills.
Welcome back to CTV. Tom Brenner, Brad Robbins, Austin Barney here with you. The Saints find themselves down 5, 32-27. The score. Saints with Cramp, Luke Ellis, Kai Pennywell, Cam Bleasdale, and Eli Lore, the starters back out there to start the fourth quarter. Luke Ellis behind the back, cross the timeline on Marsh. Saints stand around and get their set going here. Eli Lore with it up top. Not too much foul concerns here at this point. Just 3-2, and a Luke Ellis 3 starts things off strong for Matt Disserath Saints.
A Luke Ellis 3 was kind of how the Saints got it going in that first quarter and were able to take a lead. Maybe that'll spark the Saints getting it down 2 here in the fourth.
Luke was scoreless in the third. All 9 of his points are on threes. Look like either a travel or out of bounds. Captain Kyle's 3, no good. Good rebound by Kai Pennywell. Let's see if he can impact this fourth quarter. Saints down just 2 now, 32-30. Eli gets into the paint, goes up. That's a big time and 1 for Eli Lore.
I really feel like I'm beating the Eli Lore drum today, but he's having a nice game, and I don't know that we've run the offense through him enough. I think he's gone in there and missed 1 of those and doing a really nice job. He's got a little bit of a hot hand. You got to ride it.
All of a sudden, this game's tied at 32, and Eli with a free throw away from giving him the lead, and he does it. Eli with 11. That's a game high. Marsh going to bring it across. Tower all of a sudden finds themselves losing the basketball game. They almost turn it over, and they do. Good job by Bleasdale. That looked like a foul. No call there. Charleston reached in. Saints going to look to add on to this 1-point lead. Ellis drives baseline, dishes to Pennywell, gathers it. Eli fakes, goes, pull up, no good. Ball loose into the hands of Smith, who gets it to Marsh.
Good look there for the Saints. Thought that was going in from our angle.
Charleston over to Randolph. Marsh with it, guarded tightly by Ellis, picked up by Pennywell. Marsh did a good job of kind of letting him go. Pennywell thought he was done with his help.
He abandoned the hedge, and kind of crafty there by Marsh, because it was just that spot where they were exchanging him, and he kind of slipped in where there was a gap and got a good look.
Cramp tried to get inside to Pennywell. See what the call is. It's going to stay here with the Saints. Captain Kyles thought that went off the Saints. Not the way the officials saw it. Williams going to check in here for Charleston.
Good news for us just watching basketball and being fans. That is, even though this game's been ugly, we're going to get a good finish here. Just a 1-point trading possessions basketball game now. That's an interesting call just because we haven't seen much of it. I think the kind of the reach in with the help, that was the first one that I'm taking note of here mentally. Be interesting to see if they start to call that down the stretch.
I believe we got Marsh, correct, on that one?
That's correct.
Yep, Marsh called for his first of the game. Cam Bleasdale with it, working on Williams. Cramp corner, good zip over to Eli. 3, no good. Off the hands of Smith into the hands of Pennywell, and there it is.
A little bit of good fortune there for the Saints. Haven't been on the right side of many 50-50 balls, but that time it was odd how Marquise Smith went to grab it. It's like it went through his legs. Pennywell right there on the spot. Makes good of it.
It took 26 minutes, but Kai Pennywell's in the scorebook. Bleasdale rebound. Saints up 1. Stolen away. Kyle's with it. Needs a lot of help. And they're going to say that he wasn't across the timeline yet. That was a tough one.
Not sure I can make heads or tails of that call. Nonetheless, it looks like a break for the Saints. Probably deserved it. There was a lot of contact on the turnover on Bleasdale. Might have been better served to just pull that back and let some people catch up so that he had teammates with him. Nonetheless, nothing hurt. Saints ball.
A little backdoor cut here. Good job there by Randolph to poke it away. Up ahead to Smith. Smith going to go up, blocked away. I think they're going to get Eli Lohr with a foul here. That is the case. Second on Eli.
Tough call up top. I don't think there was any contact at the top, but I do think that you could have got him on the bottom. Nonetheless, Smith's up there. Shot doesn't look very good. So maybe a good foul anyway.
Devin Hartwick going to check back into the game. Going to give Captain Kyles a breather. Williams also going to go out, and back into the game is Xavion Allen.
Body language of the Titans looks like maybe a little pressure here.
Smith knocks it down. That's his first points of the fourth quarter. He's got 4 on the night. Eli going to bring it up ahead. Going to go up off glass. Draws the foul there on Randolph. That'll be his third. Got to give Randolph quite a bit of credit. He picked up 2 early ones, and he stayed out of the foul really, category for most of this game.
Both he and Kai deserve some credit for still being in this game. Now 5:23 left. Their fouls really aren't a factor, and they were huge early in the game. A little credit there on the break, the decision-making process for Lohr. I think the Titans have shown that they're going to close off those additional passes, those gaps. They've done a good job of that and getting deflections. That time, Eli just went to the teeth and got the foul call. It would have been initially something I thought I expected him to try to dump off to Kai Pennywell for a layup, but that hasn't gone well, so he took a different approach and gets the lead back for the Saints.
Charleston back into the game for the Titans. Lohr's second one is also up and good. He's got 5 here in the fourth, and Essien going to check in here for Eli Lohr, who did a nice job there for the Saints.
It's going to be a situation right now. Eli's going to go get a drink, and he's going to tell Coach Disserath when he's ready. You're going to try to give him some legs for this fourth quarter. They're going to need him back in the game.
Kyle's pretty long 3 is up and long, goes up off the belt, out of bounds of the Saints.
For St. Clair defensively, force them out on the perimeter and make that the shot that the Titans are taking. You'll live with that all day.
See what the Saints can do here with Lohr on the bench. Bleasdale over to Cramp, gets it inside to Pennywell. The Titans are very quick to get on to Kai once he gets that basketball. Ellis drives, hands it off to Pennywell. Good dish. Bleasdale 3 from the top, no good. Taken away there by Charleston. Got it to Kyles, bounces it back to Charleston. Picked up by Essien. Pulls it back, picks it up, almost stolen away by Bleasdale. Kyles wasn't on the bench for very long. Goes out of bounds, poked away by Cam Bleasdale.
It's a good last possession by the Saints. Good ball movement, and you got it to a shooter up top through the middle. Time to buckle down defensively. 2-point basketball game.
Saints on top, 37-35. 4.5 to go here in the fourth. Marsh with it. Smith, 3, looks short. It is. Rebounded by Pennywell, and back come Luke Ellis and the Saints.
Good poise and decision-making there by Pennywell on the rebound, not to rush it.
Saints try to get it back to Kai. They turn it over. Marsh going to speed up ahead with it. Loses the handle. Ends up back in his hands. Some good fortune there. Kyle's corner 3. Up long. Cramp with a great rebound.
Cramp's had quite a few boards tonight. He's got 5+ rebounds. Doing a good job on that end. It'd be nice to see one of these swing passes get around to him with his feet set for a shot. Just kind of hasn't happened that way. It's one of those, I've seen the ball swing around and end up in the hands of Essien, who came off the bench to play. And I've seen one swing around and then Derek Disserath, who's a bench player, to come in. But none of them seem to work their way around for Cramp to get an open 3. And that might end up being the thing that kind of takes him over the top here in the late going. Him with his feet set is a dangerous proposition for a defense.
Saints brought it across the timeline, and Coach Disserath called timeout with exactly 4 minutes on the clock. I'm kind of one of those guys. I like those types of numbers.
Perfect pump at the gas station and all that?
Definitely. And when it goes to 0-1, I just want to get to the next round number.
Are you willing to just put some gas on the ground to make that happen?
No, I try not to. Either way, I like it, and I assume part of the reason he had to do that is because Eli and Hunter Richardson were at the scorer's table and he wanted to get them back in the basketball game.
I think that's probably it. I don't know that he could have timed that up perfectly.
Maybe 3:59 would have bothered me.
Maybe Bill Durrell has the same idea as you, and that was his doing. The long time and a very much appreciated Hall of Fame scorekeeper here at St. Clair High School.
Big time bucket from Cam Bleasdale, his first bucket of the fourth quarter. He's got 9.
Really nice job by the Saints. Come out of the timeout, get a good look.
Marsh with a tough floater, no good. And that's an outstanding play there by Randolph. Going to count that bucket in a foul there for Chris Randolph.
Nice job. He is
I'm not sure who they called the foul on, but I think there's a disagreement on who the foul was against.
Yeah, I do think they got the wrong guy. I think it was supposed to be Hunter Richardson, and they gave it to Eli Lohr. I don't know if that puts him in any trouble, but
it gives him 3.
Interesting that they made that mistake. Could loom large. We get an overtime game, which is certainly possible.
SCN with it, gets it around to Cramp. Here's Eli with the basketball, under 3.5 to go now. Bleasdale swings it around. 39-37 is our score. Lohr was working on Charleston. Takes his time, gets to his left, picked it up at the free throw, and almost turned the basketball over. Ended up in SCN's hand, knocked away there by Randolph when he has the basketball. Titans are still down 2. They get it up ahead. Charleston called for a travel. Luke Ellis going to check back in for the Saints. Under 3 minutes to go. See if one of these teams can get themselves a 50 tonight. I don't know. Eli had the ball poked away. That's why there was no over and back call there. Lohr into the paint. A little reach in there by, I think they're going to get Marsh.
That time it was clearly on the floor, but the Saints came out with that look in the quarter.
That is the case. Second foul on Antoine Marsh. Eli Lohr going to inbound the basketball from under the Saints bucket. Gets it up top. Luke Ellis quickly over to Cramp. Inside, turned over. Here comes Marsh with it. Across the timeline. He's in a hurry. There's something about his body language that just makes guys want to release him.
Yeah, and he does a good job with the little floaters and the change of pace. You know, he's not fast, but he's quick. I think, you know, I'm looking at this game from up here, and obviously if the Saints don't hold on to it for whatever reason, and I'm not projecting that, but they're going to look at all these turnovers that they've had trying to enter the ball and just be frustrated.
Lower, a lot of contact there from Kyles. Here's Cramp, tries to get in the lane, gets it over to Bleasdale. Good job to corral a little bit of a high pass. 2 minutes to go. Lohr with it on the wing. Saints being pretty patient. Bleasdale 3. It'd be a big if it goes, and it does.
It's a massive shot. Looked totally comfortable with that stroke. He was a couple steps off of it. Comfy 21-footer. Knockdown. Bleasdale, ice in his veins.
$1:45 to go here in the fourth, and the St. Clair lead is 5. Tower trying to answer. 3 no good, and Cam with a rebound.
It's a big no match there. We'll see how much that the Titans are allowed to play. I mean, you're watching this. That 85-foot pressure there, that's difficult, especially with number 2. That's Chris Kyles trying to kind of use that stout body to get into the personal space of a more lean Cramp.
Saints break the pressure. Lohr pulls up, rolls around, no good. Pennywell went over the top, and I think they're going to get him with a foul.
Yeah, you see that one all the time. It's going to be a 6. I think that's his 4th. Wasn't in position to go up for that ball, so you kind of just got to stay up and live to fight another day. He didn't reach over the top. Now he's got to be real careful. 1.5 minutes. He can do it.
Both teams with 6 team fouls. Next foul committed will put somebody in the bonus. Kyles 3 from the top. They need this one to go. It doesn't. Ends up right in the hands of Kai Pennywell. Eli Lohr going to break it all by himself. Saints have numbers now if they want them. Tried to hand it off to Pennywell, and they turn it over. That is a badly timed turnover for the Saints. Can Tower respond? Kyles has had many shots at it and rattles in a 3.
It's a big 3, followed by a big turnover again for the Saints.
Under a minute to go. St. Clair lead is now 2. Eli with it, and he's called for a travel. Crowd getting after it now. 42-40, 52 seconds on the clock. Marsh with the basketball, and the Titans with a chance to tie or take the lead. Gets it up in the high post here. Randolph. Kyles, a long 3, short. Offensive rebound there by Charleston. And I think they're going to get him with an offensive foul.
He kind of had a hook there trying to, and I don't believe that Ellis was able to get out on the basketball. So it'd be interesting to see. I think Ellis is your shooter. So it's one of those things where I think Luke Ellis is trying to get position to board, and it's usually a crafty play that he just didn't get away with. Corey Charleston was trying to keep Ellis from moving. And it was him. They did make the right call. He wasn't able to rebound on account of being held. And you don't see it much. You see it that time. He's going to shoot the 1-and-1. And these are big shots. Luke Ellis has kind of had a knack for hitting the big one today. So let's see if he can extend this 2-point lead.
Ellis's first one rolls around and good. His first non-3-point points of the night.
Every time Ellis has made a shot, it seems like it's been a pretty impactful one. That time it extends that lead to 3. Could potentially make it 2 possessions.
Second one is no good. Disserath got in there to mix it up, saves it up into the hands of Marsh. The St. Clair lead is 3, 43-40. Titans push it up. Charleston across. Kiles gathers it into the corner. Smith. Kiles with it again. 20 seconds on the clock. Swings it around. Marsh, 3 on its way. Rattles around, out of bounds into the Saints.
It's a big spot here. You're going to get a lot of pressure, and the Titans have been kind of allowed to put some hands on. So you're going to have composure with the basketball. If the Saints are able to get this ball inbounded, I would expect that it'd be a pretty short order. The Titans are going to try to extend this game by fouling. Want to work up something that allows you to inbound the basketball and get the ball into the hands of your best foul shooter.
First free throw there from Ellis is obviously a big one at this point. Gave him a 3-point lead. The second one would have been huge, but still making the first one is a big deal. Luke now with 10 points. He's in the double digits. Eli in the double digits as well. Same with Cam Bleasdale. Those 3 guys have kind of come alive here in the second half, giving the Saints a huge spark and a 3-point lead. 18 seconds on the clock. Team foul-wise, Tower has 7. St. Clair has 6. Be interesting to see what Tower does the rest of the way. You assume they'll come right out and try to make something happen. They'll have to foul as soon as they have the opportunity.
Yeah, they're going to go for the steal. Obviously, you're going to go. You got some time. You got 18 seconds. I think you're going to see a really hard press, and then you're going to see how much you can get away with for a couple seconds here and just go for a steal because you're going to want to rip the ball away without getting the foul if you can do it. But that only goes so far. Once you get into that 10-second range, you're going to need to put something, the unintentional, intentional on one of the Saints. And if you're the Saints, you want the ball to be in the hands of one of your go-to foul shooters. You see this a lot, Cramp being one of them. They may enter it right back to him.
Ellis has it, and he's going to be immediately fouled there by Marquise Smith. So back to the free throw line goes Luke Ellis, and only 2 seconds went off the clock.
Yeah, so their intention is just to extend this as long as they want, and they put Ellis on the line, 3-point deficit, and it's just a 1-and-1. So the Titans, that's pretty good time management basketball from them, and now it's just in the Saints' court for having to make foul shots.
First one for Luke on its way, goes up, rattles out and around. Randolph with it.
Need to be aware of the shooters, but they don't have to shoot a 3.
In the corner, they got an open look. They get an open look at it, and it's knocked down there by Corey Charleston. And all of a sudden, with 7 seconds, this game is tied at 43.
Too open of a shot. Got to be frustrated. You got to know who your shooters are and where they are. They moved the ball in short order. So with 16 seconds to go, we had a 43-40 game. And now with 7 seconds to go, which is no time at all, the Titans are able to knock one down. Having said all that, the Saints had the benefit of being in the bonus. So if they do get the luxury of a foul out in the far court, they are going to get some foul shots with the opportunity to take the lead and potentially win it. You can get something going to the rim, and you can get something a touch inside. I would get or try to get a shot up somewhere in the 4-second range, 3-second range to give Kai Pennywell an opportunity for a putback. If you take the shot too late, you don't have that. These are all things that they're probably talking about right now, but as you look at it, you got to go the full length of the court, and you are going to have the baseline, I think, to run on in order to break the press. If I'm the Titans, I probably am not putting a ton of pressure way up top, just for the simple, I don't want to get that 1-and-1 foul 85 feet away from the rim. I put my guys at about half court and get my hands up and keep everybody in front of me.
Both these teams 7-4 overall, 3-2 in the gold. They're tied for second in the gold after Warren Fitzgerald dropped down to 0-5 due to a little player ineligibility issue. Here come the Saints. This is huge. 5 on the clock. Eli with the basketball. 3. Gets all the way up. Goes off glass. No good. Into the hands of the Titans. And we've got bonus basketball here on CTV. Man, what a finish we've got going here.
A little bit of foreshadowing earlier. We were talking about the foul situation and whether or not it was going to be relevant that they gave Eli Lohr a foul instead of Hunter Richardson. So Eli Lohr is on high alert for his fouls. I really like what Coach Disserath did there, getting Eli a shot. We just weren't able to get the putback.
We're going to play overtime basketball on CTV. You got to love it. If you've made it this far with us, you got to stick around. Overtime after these messages here on CTV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Welcome back. High school basketball on CTV. Tom Brenner, Brad Robbins, Austin Bonny. We're working overtime. Hopefully we get the clock a little bit more. Think we get paid extra for this?
I don't think so. Is there a multiplier?
43-43 after 4 quarters. 32 minutes have gone by and we haven't settled anything. We're back at zeros. I'm not even sure what the heck's going on. 2 seconds have gone by and basketball going to go apparently out of bounds of the Saints.
Interesting way to start the jump. Ball goes directly out of bounds.
Lohr with the basketball, gets it over to Ellis, spins towards the baseline. Marsh forced him there quickly. Cramp has it, swings it around. Bleasdale into the paint, goes up off glass, floats it, no good. Got his own miss. Bodies everywhere. He was hit, and I think they're going to end up. I think they're going to get Cam Bleasdale with the foul.
I'm not sure how you get a foul laying on the floor.
I thought it was maybe going to. Had the potential of being a late foul.
I thought
Cam
that
was
as
on
well.
the deck.
I was a little bit confused in that I didn't know that when you went up and you fell down, you laying on the floor could constitute as a player control foul. But nonetheless, it's not going to change our circumstances.
So the interesting thing to kind of keep in mind is that the fouls stay with you here. We don't reset.
Right. Well, that's always been the case. I am a little curious. I really thought that overtime in high school basketball was 4 minutes. So we're getting 5 here tonight, and maybe I'm just not up on my game.
Whoa, bodies all over the place. How do you call something here?
I think you're going to get a player control foul on Ellis there, and that one makes a lot more sense to me than the Bleasdale foul.
So if you're Tower, just looking at it from their perspective, you got to make these.
Yeah, I mean, there have been plenty of opportunities. Made free throws would have ended this thing. So you got to feel like you got to take advantage of these opportunities here early on in the extra frame.
Marquise Smith misses the first one. It's back into the hands of Eli Lohr. Still 43-43, 30 seconds gone by. Smith all over Eli Lohr. Cam Bleasdale into the corner to Jared Cramp. Tried to look at Pennywell. Pennywell repositions and gets the basketball. Bleasdale up top, guarded by Captain Kyles. Cramp working on Charleston. Over to Eli Lohr. Tries to get in the paint. Got it over to Bleasdale. That thing was tipped out of bounds by the Titans. Stays with the St.Clair Saints.
Saints offense just stymied and frustrated a little bit. Lots of deflections, feeling some pressure out on the perimeter, having a hard time getting it in. Maybe more credit needs to be given to the Titans defense for doing such a good job.
No scoring so far here with a minute gone by in overtime. Ellis with it up top, working on Marsh. Corner is Eli Lohr. Takes a dribble, gets it over to Bleasdale. 3 from the top, up and good.
Bleasdale having a couple moments here this evening. You got to run through it. It seems like the Titans are willing to give him the looks. So maybe just take what they're giving you. Patience pays off. Bleasdale, big 3.
46-43. Saints back on top. Kyles try to get it in, and Bleasdale with a knock away. Big time sequence from Cam Bleasdale. Minute and a half gone by. Bleasdale with the basketball.
Saints don't need to be in a hurry here. 3 points feels like a big deal in this particular instance, especially the way that this game's gone.
Bleasdale into the paint, almost turned the basketball over. It was tipped away so Lohr can go get it. He's going to make sure to wait for Smith to come back and not knock it away. Corner, Bleasdale. Cramp with it up top. He's checked by Smith. Cam with it. Enters it inside to Kai Pennywell. Ellis gathers it. Swings it around to Eli. He can get in the paint if he wants. Back to Luke Ellis. Foul there. I was going to say that would be tough not to call. And foul there on Antoine Marsh.
I kind of shot you a look at the delayed whistle. Nonetheless, that went how it was supposed to. I really have been impressed. I mean, we talked in the outset about how good Kai Pennywell and difficult he can be to guard. And Chris Randolph has been, he's been good. And he's been a real pain. I think they're actually discussing that with the official right now. They both probably have an axe to grind with one another. You've been bumping into each other for, I don't know, 25 minutes here.
Free throw up and no good. Pennywell went after it. Marsh has it. He's in a tough spot. Ellis went after it. Kicked ball.
I'm not sure what they're calling here. I don't
Randolph and Ellis mixing it up a little bit.
Call Ellis for a foul. That was a late whistle.
Fourth foul on Luke Ellis. Now with overtime going into play, you got a bunch of guys from the Saints with 3 fouls and Luke with 4. He's the closest one to foul trouble for either team. I've got Marsh with 3 and Randolph with 3 for Tower.
3-point basketball game. Marsh on the line.
Marsh's free throw going to rattle around and no good. St.Clair lead stays at 3. Towers had 3 trips to the line for my count. They've had no points to account for it. And I think they're going to get an offensive foul here on Derek Disserath.
Foul number 13, Derek Disserath.
First foul on Derek. 10th team foul on St. Clair. That includes the fourth quarter. Kyle's going to go over and get the basketball. 2:43 on the clock. 46-43. Saints on top. Marsh has it, guarded by Luke Ellis, gets it over to Captain Kyles. Randolph with it up top in the high post. Long 3 again from Kyles. Long into the hands of Kai Pennywell. He's found a way to make an impact off the glass.
Good helper there. Honestly, he altered that shot. He got his big arms up in the face. What used to be an open look had to go way over the top.
Laura was stumbling and bumbling on the baseline, lost the handle. Pennywell had it for a second. Disserath up top to Ellis. Closing in on 2 minutes to go here in overtime. Laura was cut off quickly there, and a timeout here by Coach Matt Disserath and the Saints with 2:07 on the clock. Still a 3-point lead, 46-43.
It's interesting. You watch both of these benches and both of these coaches as each possession is traded. I think each of them is just equally frustrated at how ugly every possession is. They just don't seem to be in rhythm. It just kind of seems messy. I think both of them think that one another is being fouled on every possession, and both of them might be right. So we get these possessions. They're massive, and I get the impression that Matt Disserath needs to talk to his guys a little bit about the pace with which they need to play and the urgency which they don't need to have right now. You're not doing anything, honestly, unless you're getting a layup or a look for Cam Bleasdale from the top. I think you're foregoing any shots and making Tower play super aggressive as you're in the double bonus when they foul you.
Kind of scanning over what we've got going on here so far. I've got Cam Bleasdale down for 15 points, Eli Lohr with 13, Luke Ellis with 10, Kai Pennywell with 2, Hunter Richardson with 4. That rounds out the Saints scoring. No scoring in overtime for the Titans. Antoine Marsh with 11, Chris Kyles 7, Randolph 5, Smith 4, Charleston 7, Allen 7, and Palmerville with 2.
Spread it out, lots of contributions. I think notable right now for the Saints, Lohr and Bleasdale with some clutch plays. Keep your eye on Jared Cramp for a big one here late.
Cramp has the basketball, gets it over to Ellis. They're joined by Bleasdale, Pennywell, and Lohr. Stolen away by Marsh. Marsh up ahead. Good hustle by Bleasdale to get back. Try to take a charge. Marsh goes up with it and good. Probably a pretty good no call there.
Good no call. Play on. Don't call it either way. I don't think there was a foul there, even though Bleasdale tried to sell it.
Saints lead is down to 1, 46-45. $1:40 to go here in overtime. Cramp with it in the corner. Gets it up top to Ellis. Bleasdale has it. He's checked by Charleston. Lohr on the wing. Swings it. Cramp Ellis. Very patient look here from the Saints. Lohr, Cramp. There you see that Pennywell-Randolph matchup. Battling down low.
Both guys working hard. The story of the Saints' day, and even off the last basket that they've given up here in overtime, has been turnovers, right? They get down here and they're not making the opportunity to get a shot every time, and some of these are going with numbers the other way. Bleasdale did his level best to get in front and take a charge. No dice, but it all started with a turnover and a rip out in the open court by Antoine Marsh.
I got Chris Kyles down for just one foul, which is kind of impressive because he's out there bumping and grinding on the perimeter. Free throw no good there for Cramp. Logan Ellis and Derek Disserath will check in for Coach Disserath and the Saints.
He's kind of crafty, and he's been up front of that press a couple of times too, where Titans have been fortunate to get like a travel instead of a push.
Cramp's second one is up and good. And that's kind of a big deal because they were trying to get Derek Disserath into the game.
Makes that one, gets Disserath in for a defensive possession. A little bit of stronger defender rebounder, although Cramp has had a nice night on the glass. Logan Ellis back in the game.
Marsh going to bring it in, and a good cut there by Kyles. They find Charleston 3, went up, and they did a lot off the belt.
I think we've had things off the wires probably 3 or 4 times this evening. Here you see the offense-defense exchange. So Derek Disserath to sit down up close, and he'll come and relieve Cramp as it's feasible on the defensive end of the court here in the last minute.
I've always been curious, as a little bit of a sports nerd, if it was like the NBA where there is no rope, how many non-turnovers would there be?
With several, right? Yeah, that's just one of those old basket setups with the
got to get him out of the way.
Yeah. Although at any rate,
high school sports problems.
If your shot goes in that area, it wasn't a very good shot.
Yes.
So
Cramp has it. Saints up 2. Goes out of bounds. Stays with the Saints. But some of those have went so high up that it's almost possible. Timeout here by Tower. Coach Jason Henshaw. Talk things over with his Titans. They're down 2. Both teams with 10 team fouls apiece. My scorebook here is full. I can't do another overtime because my chart is done. I've used everything.
It's all over the place, and I think it just kind of speaks to the type of game that we've had the opportunity to watch here. It almost felt destined to be an overtime basketball game. Nobody ever seemed to want to take it and run with it. I think, if anything, the Saints right now, with a baseline out of bounds play, you have to debate with 35 seconds left. I mean, you want to run your best play here and get the best look that you can because you want to play to win the basketball game. But if you don't get your look, you kind of got to pull it out and hope. Well, the turnovers have been an issue, so you're guarding against that. But you got to make the Titans come out and play and be in the double bonus and use that to your advantage. You got to get the guys with the ball in their hand that you think are going to take care of it if you don't get what you want off this baseline out of bounds.
Titans with just 2 points in overtime. Antoine Marsh has those 2 points. Cam Bleasdale hit a massive 3 early in the frame, and Jared Cramp hit a free throw to give the Saints their 4 overtime points. They swing it around Ellis. Saints will probably try to not hold on to it too long on one guy. Bleasdale bounces it over to Cramp. He's got it on the wing, and it looks like Tower is going to elect to foul Jared Cramp. That foul is going to go against number 4, Chris Randolph. That's his 4th.
Did not get a natural trap there for the Titans. They've been so good tonight about getting deflections. Saints much better that time, take care of the basketball. And now it's going to come down to the same thing the fourth quarter came down to, which is Saints at the foul line. Need to get both. You're in the double bonus.
Cramp's first one is up and no good. So a small bit of a big deal, just in case this game does happen to go to double overtime, is that Chris Randolph was the one who ended up committing that foul. He now has 4.
Big development because he's shut down Kai Pennywell, who's a darn good player.
Ball rattles around into the hands of Marsh. Stays a 2-point game with 20 seconds to go. Here come the Titans. Marsh with it. Going to take a Randolph screen. Pennywell went up to help. Smith with it. Takes a screen. Kyles with an incredibly long 3 is good.
Big shot there by Kyles. Frustration, but a little bit of over-celebration. You got 8 seconds in a 1-point basketball game here. Saints are going to get plenty of time and an opportunity coming the other way. But a big shot, nonetheless, by Chris Kyles. It's a pretty bold pull there. He was deep, and he made the shot. And he's been kind of like a quiet, crafty guy making a mess. No wonder he's a captain.
Yeah, just in case anyone at home is joking, can we get the camera over here real quick? Just in case you think we were joking, Captain Antoine Marsh and Captain Chris Kiles. So that's why we've been calling him Captain Chris Kiles, because they've got him in the score. But I kind of like it. A little personal touch, making sure people know that he's the captain. But I'll tell you what, we've kind of given him a little bit of like those like, what are you doing calls on the threes that have been incredibly long. The guy must make them.
Yeah, he's got the green light.
You can't, with 15 seconds to go in overtime,
right,
pull the trigger from there. I mean, you can, but most guys don't have the confidence to do that unless they have the ability to make them.
And you got to know that your coach is okay with you doing it. I mean, he had his mind made up, although now he's probably wishing he would have done it a few seconds later.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Saints going to have an opportunity. You're probably going to see a similar setup maybe to what they did at the end of regulation. And I liked it, but you got to get Pennywell running to the rim.
It's 48-47, 8 seconds to go. 7. Ellis has it. 6, 5, 4 into the lane. They're going to call a foul here on Randolph. It's a block. He fouls out of the game. It's at bare minimum going to be, it's double bonus no matter what, actually.
So he's going to get 2 shots. You got an opportunity to win the game, tie the game. But nonetheless, that's going to be the last moment that Randolph gets to play in the game. So if there is an extra frame, you're going to have it without Randolph unless they don't alert them. Now, we shouldn't play on with him on the floor unless we have it wrong.
Ellis's first one is on its way, and it's good. And by the way, no official officials calling that a charge, by the way.
No, nobody in that spot.
I think they're going to check on this.
No, they're not. So I don't know if we have that wrong or if nobody's paying attention.
Unless the previous foul was not on him on that reach.
Right. If it's not
Second one is up and good.
What a big deal. 3 seconds to go.
49-48.
We have a timeout. I thought for a second there that the Saints just kind of forgot where they were at and ran on the floor. Nonetheless, you're in a position right now, you're only up 1. Massive foul shots, but there is time to get a shot off, and you got to protect it against your own heartbreak here. You make them earn it from distance, and you don't foul on it.
49-48. What a sequence. The overtime period was like dead. Now all of a sudden it's mass chaos
All
here.
The atmosphere came in the last 9 seconds of the overtime. Nonetheless, massive foul shots there by Luke Ellis. And if you draw all the way back to the 4th quarter, Luke Ellis did have the opportunity to ice that down as well and miss the second one. So here he kind of makes good on it, little redemption. But now it's going to be in him and his teammates to play these 3 seconds incredibly smart. The only thing you can give up here is a guy running forward with all of his momentum, and you need it to hit the side of the backboard and not go in, right? So you're guarding against that miracle, and you can't foul. Got to have somebody deep for the Leitner play as well.
3 seconds on the clock. Who knows if it's a heavy 3 or if it's a closer to 2. 49-48, Saints on top. Charleston's got to get it in, and then they got to get themselves a look. Can they do that? I think they're going to call timeout. Timeout is the case. You see the official run over there quickly and say that Jason Henshaw was counting in his head before he could let that thing get to 5 seconds. Smart play there by Coach, because I'll tell you what, that was a heavy 4.
Well, and as soon as both teams came out, I don't have it written down what the timeout situation was, but I was wondering if Coach Disarath was going to use a timeout after he saw what the Titans were lined up like. Honestly, in the whole coaching book, there's like 6 different things that people do in these situations. You saw Matt use a couple of them. One of them was getting Eli Lohr running, and most of them are depending on how many seconds you have left. You're only going to get a guy taking about 1 dribble here if he catches it on the run. If they throw the deep pass, he's got to turn around. So your options are limited if you're Jason Henshaw, and that's why he's being so particular on this inbound. Now, you don't want to get a 5-second call. That's
Charleston has it. Eli's got his lanky arms up there. 3 on the clock, 2. Marsh has it. He's going to get a look at it. The long 3 off the glass is no good. The Saints pull off an overtime thriller victory here at home. A massive win in the MAC Gold. They were tied in 2nd place going in. They stand alone at 2nd place in the Gold now.
That's a big win and kind of just a gritty and gutty one. I don't know that they're going to love watching this film until the end of it anyways. But Luke Ellis, nice job kind of with a little bit of a redemption. He made big shots when they counted all night. And then Cam Bleasdale put on a little bit of a show in his own right. Those three-pointers that he made were massive. Credit to the Titans forcing a lot of turnovers, doing an excellent job with help and being physical on the interior. I still want to check out if Randolph was supposed to be playing for that last little bit. That's a big deal. But nonetheless, credit to Coach Disrath and the Saints just kind of finding a way. And sometimes in the, I read an interview that Matt gave that kind of talked about this being the dog days of the season, right? It's cold. It gets dark at 1 p.m. You got kids going to school. You're coming off exams, and you got practice and games a lot. And it's hard to get these wins, and it's hard to keep your team together if you're not finding ways to do it. And these kind of nights are the ones that you can build on heading into that happy time, which is tournament time, where you can kind of go after some of your goals. So this is a big one, not only to get sole second place as you start to travel, I think, to South Lake and Lance Cruz, but just a nice win for the Saints.
Kind of checking things out. We did a game earlier here on CTV where it got to the fourth quarter. And I remember you and I sitting here and I was like, whoa, Eli Lohr has no points. I think he's got a free throw. Tonight, kind of the same goes for Kai Pennywell, who got himself in early foul trouble. Only 2 points. He's easily one of the Saints' better players, and the Saints find a way to get a win with just 2 points from Kai Pennywell.
Then you're going to have to do that. I think, it's certainly not something you're going to abandon the game plan and never go back to him again, but there's going to be nights. Jason Henshaw and his team did a really good job on Kai Pennywell, and Randolph did a really good job on Kai Pennywell. So that means that somebody else has to step up. If you look at the box score from the game where Kai Pennywell has 14, you probably see that Bleasdale doesn't come across with more than 3 or 4. Tonight, Bleasdale hit a couple of reversals and got those to go, and Eli Lohr had one of his better nights. So that's how you play team basketball, complementary basketball. I don't think there's a standout 20-point-a-night guy or on the team that's just going to arrive for us. So this is how they're going to have to play, and sometimes that's more fun. It gets people involved, and just kind of makes everybody feel like they got to be ready.
Tell you what, you obviously got to give Luke Ellis a ton of credit, and I don't want to sit here and harp on the fact that this is what absolutely crushed Tower. Luke made 2 huge free throws, but Tower opened overtime with some serious opportunities from the line, and they did not capitalize on any of them. They had 0 free throws made in the fourth quarter, or in the overtime period. Yeah, they came out and had the opportunity to extend that lead, and obviously in a 49-48 overtime game, it really, those points feel massive. And they didn't make good on him. And I think in the back of Luke Ellis's mind, who's probably going to come chat with you in a moment, in his mind, he probably wanted to go out there and make good on those missed foul shots. He's a competitive kid, and don't think that wasn't in his brain that he missed that shot. So he'll give you his take on it, but really a gutsy performance out of all the Saints. But those shots from Luke Ellis were big shots, and we're happy for him and get the opportunity to let him talk you through that. Well, I let Coach Disselrath pick who we talked to after the games. I think he picked the right guy.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be him or Bleasdale. I mean, now that you're here, I would have preferred Bleasdale, but it's fine. We'll let you have my microphone.
We're going to talk to the man who hit the game-winning big-time free throws after these messages here on CTV. Brad, good job. Big win for the Saints. Luke Ellis.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Welcome back to CTV. Tom Brenner replacing Brad Robbins with the man of the hour, Luke Ellis, who capped off a big 49-48 overtime win with 2 huge free throws. Luke, congrats.
Thank you.
First overtime game of the season here at home. The fans got into it, especially down the stretch. What was it like being out there on the floor for such an exciting game today?
It definitely got loud. Especially on those last couple of free throws. And it definitely got quiet on those last couple of free throws of the first half. But yeah, honestly, it was a good game. I think we lost to them guys down at their place. and to make them come back here and win, it was a big deal.
All right, not everybody has to stand on the free throw line with the game on the line. It's one thing when the game is tied. Okay, down a point though, what's kind of going through your brain, and what do you have to do to mentally get yourself ready to knock down those free throws?
It's a big deal. It's always, stay with the same motion every time, but if you don't hit that first one, the second one's definitely in your head. In the double bonus like that, you get 2, but if you don't hit that first one, you're in trouble.
Okay, it didn't end up mattering, but what was going through your head when Kyles makes a Steph Curry like 3-pointer?
It was insane. Dude, he was standing behind the volleyball line. I'm gonna go back and look that on film when we get done, but that was insane. I don't know how he did it. I sure couldn't do it.
Well, it's almost like we got to thank him, because if he doesn't make that crazy 3, you don't have the chance to win the game on the free throw line.
You might not see me out here next week.
You guys are going to move to 8-4, 4-2 in the gold. Looking ahead here, you got Lance Cruz on the road, and they're going to come back home for 2. You got Southlake and then Fitz, who actually has now moved to the bottom of the division due to a little bit of a player ineligibility issue. Looking ahead here, what is Coach Disserath and your team looking forward to down the stretch?
It's definitely a big deal when trying to win these games. I mean, you look at the teams that we have to play every week in the gold. I mean, they're good teams. I mean, you look at Lance Cruz. Lance Cruz doesn't have many wins, but they got a guy that's averages 30 a game. And, I mean, really, and they're not the worst team, but record-wise, they're the second lowest team in the gold. And then Fitz, even though, like you said, they're 0-5 technically, they're insane. I mean, they won out the first time through.
Yep. Well, Luke, great job. Congrats on a great game for your team. Congrats on standing on that free throw line with all those eyeballs on you and making a big-time pair of free throws. 49-48, the Saints get a huge overtime win. We thank you for watching high school basketball here on CTV. For Brad Robbins, Austin Barney, and Luke Ellis, I'm Tom Brunner. We'll see you next time here on CTV.
Thank you.
East China High School sports have been brought to you by Ascension River District Hospital, along with support from North Star Bank, Ace Hardware in La Mache, the Murphy Inn, and CTV.